They taught you how to sit still. They taught you how to color inside the lines. How to memorize facts you'd never use. How to raise your hand to speak, how to ask for permission to go to the bathroom. But they never taught you how to lead a life of greatness. They taught you how to pass tests, but not how to pass through adversity. They taught you to obey, but not how to think. They taught you to follow, but never to rise. They gave you rules, not reasons. Grades, not growth. Conformity, not creativity. You were graded on how well you repeated, not how boldly you dreamed. And here's the bitter truth: the world doesn't reward repetition. It rewards reinvention. The marketplace doesn't care about your report card. It cares about your value, what you bring, what you solve, what you create, what you believe. What they don't teach you in school is how to face yourself. They don't teach you how to manage your thoughts when the world goes silent and doubt screams. They don't teach you how to rebuild your identity after failure. They don't teach you that the greatest education you'll ever get is pain and what you decide to do with it. They don't teach you that your self-worth can't be measured in numbers. They don't tell you that the ones who changed the world, the Fords, the Disneys, the Lincolns, the Dysons, the Oprahs, were all, at one point, seen as less than by the system. Misfits. Dreamers. Rebels. But they chose themselves when the world didn't. That's the first step. You must choose yourself. Not because someone clapped. Not because someone gave you permission. But because something inside you knows you were born for more. Let that part of you rise. Because success doesn't come from sitting in rows, memorizing dates. Success comes from standing up when the world tells you to sit down. It comes from saying "I will" when life screams you can't. See, the school system conditions you to play it safe. But success requires risk. It requires decision. And above all, it requires ownership, full, radical ownership of your life. It's not your teacher's job to define your future. It's yours. The moment you stop blaming the system and start building your system, everything changes. Clarity replaces confusion. You begin to realize that your dreams aren't random. They are directions. And your job, your duty, is to follow them with discipline and fire. Don't ask for permission to be great. Just be it. Burn the blueprint they gave you and build your own with belief, resilience, and relentless action. Because what they didn't teach you is that success isn't a class you attend. It's a decision you make. And it begins the moment you stop living by someone else's answers and start living by your own questions. No one teaches you how to believe in yourself when no one else does. They don't teach you what to do when you're all alone, when your back is against the wall, and the only thing louder than your fear is your heartbeat. But that's where greatness is born. Not in the spotlight. In the shadows. In the grind no one sees. In the moments you choose to keep going, not because it's easy, but because it's right. Belief isn't handed to you. It's forged. Forged in late nights and early mornings. In rejection. In heartbreak. In every time you got knocked down and still stood up with fire in your chest. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times. Not because he lacked intelligence, but because he had the clarity to know what he was after. Every failure brought him one step closer to the light. Literally. Henry Ford was ridiculed for dreaming of a car that could be built on a moving assembly line. They called him foolish. Until the world moved at the speed of his vision. Walt Disney was fired for not being creative enough. Imagine that. Fired. For not having imagination. And yet, he imagined worlds we still escape to. These people weren't smarter than the system. They just didn't believe it was the final answer. They believed in something more. Something within. That's the shift from external validation to internal conviction. You don't wait for the world to believe in you. You teach the world how to believe in you by believing in yourself first. So the question isn't, what did school teach you? The question is, what have you chosen to unlearn? Because real power comes from undoing what no longer serves your destiny. Let go of the rules that shrink you. Abandon the ideas that limit you. Dismantle the lies they told you about who you are and what you're worth. This isn't rebellion. This is remembrance. Remember who you were before the world told you to sit down, shut up, and fall in line. You are not a result of someone else's grading system. You are a force of creation. And once you remember that, once you own that, the world starts to shift around you. Because when you believe differently, you act differently. And when you act differently, you live differently. And when you live differently, you inspire others to do the same.